I haven't got time to mark this motherfucker. Here we go again. We can't hear anybody. Nobody can talk to anybody.
You guessed it, Pressure Points with your two favorite hosts. I'm D, and this is Religious Nut AJ. We're coming at you with Season 7, Episode 29, Squeaky Clean Family Sex. President Gerald Ford, who the fuck is that guy? We don't know. Find us on Instagram and Patreon at pointsopressure.com. Let's get to it.
Well, turn the fucking thing off, you dumbass.
Classic intro.
Yeah, as always. How was your week?
You know, pretty good. It's been real rainy here.
Which has been phenomenal. I love it.
It's been so great.
Needs to happen more often.
Yeah, I was at work when on like the first big rainstorm, and yeah, lightning struck the hospital, so that was fun.
Hell yeah.
Made all the fire alarms go off for like hours.
Fuck yeah, even better.
I don't know. I was only there for like 30 minutes with them going off.
Way more often.
Yeah, it's really great when you wake up all the patients, everyone.
It'd be great. It's fine. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
They'll be okay.
They'll be fine.
Just tell them to cope.
Yeah, get better.
Yeah, you're cured. Good.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
You know, finished a great D&D session.
Yup.
Yeah.
Good time.
And I've still got like 3 or 4 days off, so I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, we're getting a tattoo tomorrow, so don't forget.
Yeah. That'll be great. I'll probably be asleep until that appointment at 5 p.m.
Okay, yeah. I'll probably like 4:30. I'll give you a call so you can wash and shave the area.
There's no hair that grows there on my thigh.
Huh, I thought you said right above your knee.
Yeah. I don't get any hair.
You're fucking
in
weird.
any part of my body. I'm completely hairless. I'm like from Blood Meridian. I'm basically the judge.
Jeez, just a like large baby.
Yeah, large egg-shaped baby. Yeah. How's your week been going?
It's been all right. Nothing too crazy. Work was fairly simple this week, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where are you getting your tattoo? Where are you getting it?
Oh, I was like, bro, we're going to the same place.
No, like on your body.
I'm going to do the opposite side of where I have the slug. So I'm going to go right there so there's room to do something
up the
straight.
mid.
Yeah. And
nice.
Hopefully he's got a good selection of flash so I can go get another one maybe next week or something.
Yeah, if he's still doing the sale.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. And then potentially getting that devil next month. Yeah. The artist is out of the country, and I guess they aren't even taking fucking appointments until September anyway. And so I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So
cool. All right, yeah.
I was like, fuck yeah. I think that would look sick. Right there.
Yeah, that'll look awesome. I want to get some work by that artist because those look so cool.
There's another one. I'll send it to you right now. There's another one that does like strictly that wood block or like etch.
Yeah, wood
etch
block
art or something.
Yeah.
Because the one that I had before, it's like I said, I don't really like her shading.
Mm-hmm.
But like the wood block stuff she does is really, really cool. But there's another person that does like strictly wood block shit.
Cool.
And it looks fucking great.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to book on the same day so that we can commute.
Just be there for 16 fucking hours.
Yeah.
But
yeah, send that to me. So that'll be good. We're getting tattoo, not matching, but tattoos.
Yeah, I mean,
I should have gotten the same one as you.
They fall in the same vein.
Yeah.
Both. Mine is a little frog samurai.
Mm-hmm. And I'm getting the wave. So we're both weaves.
The Japanese wave.
Right? And you got a Japanese frog.
There you go. This is the other person.
Damn,
Yeah,
that looks good.
Cool shit.
Yeah, send that shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, I want some of those fucking creepy monsters and shit.
If literally anybody DMs us on the Patreon and is a patron, if you want to see these new tattoos, we'll post pictures on there. But you have to ask.
Yeah, you have to ask for it.
Yeah, if you comment under a video or just send us a message directly, then we'll do it. If you don't give a shit, hey, that's okay.
Yeah, and if you are in Utah, send us your favorite tattoo artists.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because we'd love to get some art done.
Yeah.
Boys we want to get fucking
tatted.
Yeah, printed.
Pierced.
Yeah,
all
covered.
of it.
Yeah. Next fucking 2 months or so, I'll probably be getting my ears pierced. So fuck it.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt putting these headphones on.
That's fine. It'll be all right.
I'll allow you to have 1 week without putting on the headphones.
No, honestly, I don't like not having them on.
Oh yeah, because
That
the
bothers
pain.
me. I don't care.
It'll be all right.
I'll fight through it. I'll be
We'll
fine.
see.
I'll be okay.
We'll see.
I
Little
just
baby.
wear them like this.
Oh yeah, there
Just
you
wear
go.
them lower.
Wear them low.
Yeah.
Speaking of Patreon, if you want an ad-free version of the show,
Yeah.
if you want bonus episodes every month, the day after the month ends,
Yeah.
and some behind-the-scenes extra projects, all that stuff, everything else goes on our Patreon.
Yeah.
Go check it out. You can even make a free account. You get a couple little bonus episodes here and there, just if you want a taste.
Yeah.
Also, you do get free samples. I think the first 5 minutes of every episode,
Yeah.
even the exclusive ones, are like you can listen to the first 5 minutes, so you can hear the increased production quality that we put into them.
Yeah, true. You'll hear our terrible cold opens. So go check
Yeah, and
that
we
shit
actually
out.
we reduce the quality of the sound in editing for the free version.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Go back to our roots.
Actually, there was a
Just
podcast I
like
listened to back in the
edit
day
in
who would
fucking-
do that.
Edit in white noise in the
Yeah,
background.
just the whole time.
Jesus.
Well, we removed the pop filter for the free episode.
And for more information on all of our episodes and for additional content and like pictures,
Visual aspects.
yeah, go to our Instagram. I gave you the name and the title.
Instagram.com/points of pressure.
Or just at Points of Pressure. That works too.
Yeah. So go check that out.
Yeah.
You usually
give it a
you
look-see.
usually get like 2 extra posts throughout the week related to that episode, different photos, kind of like what the people look like, where it was, all that stuff. It's awesome.
It's good shit. She puts a lot of hard work into it.
It's a great little addition to the content that you're receiving here.
Yeah. Go give it a follow.
All right. So do you want to get started? You want to dive on in?
It's your episode.
Well, yeah, I was passing the puck to you. If you had
nope.
anything to talk about.
You passed it to me and I just fucking slapped it straight back.
Yeah, you made it worse. All right, so true crime episode? No, maybe.
I mean, based on the thing you sent me, I'm going to go with potentially yes. But that's
Possibly.
because I'm judging a book by its cover.
Oh, yeah, you saw how she looked?
No. I saw, like,
The words?
the fucking
Yeah.
New
So-
York Post headline.
Yeah. So I love learning about the Manson family, cult, all that shit, the murders and everything, but the topic is so overblown in the content creation field, whether it's video, podcast, whatever it is, everybody's done an episode. It's like Dietlov Pass. Everybody's done a Dietlov Pass episode. Everybody's done a fucking... what's her name? Like a Madeleine McCann episode in true crime, at least.
It's like, I don't know any of these.
That's because they're true crime. So everybody's done a Manson episode.
Oh, great. So now we fall into that fucking blanket.
No, this is the thing. So I'm not going to talk about just Manson. I'm not talking about the cult a ton, but I wanted to kind of...
A different perspective.
I wanted to focus in on one and a half people.
Okay.
Specifically.
Charles Manson.
Manson and Sharon Tate. But only in the last 8.5 months of her life. Since she got knocked up by that child molester.
Yeah.
Roman Polanski.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Polanski? Probably
it's all the same.
Polanski. Fuck that
yeah.
guy. So, and also, I don't think personally I could do a full Manson series of episodes. I don't think I could do it justice. So, I also wanted to go with somebody who, unless you've, listened or seen those very much more specific long-form episodes about the Manson family, you probably wouldn't recognize some of these people that I'm going to be talking about. At least that's a point. Because I'm not going to talk about the Tate LaBianca murders. I'm not talking about the drug dealer they murdered. I'm not talking about basically any of their murders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about Tex. I'm not talking about Mother Mary. No Sexy Sadie. And no George Spahn.
Yeah, so if you want that, get the fuck
out of here. No, so I'm going to be talking about one of the Beach Boys And Lynette, I wanted to say Fromme, but it's Fromme? Fromme?
Fromme.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to talk about one of the Beach Boys and Lynette.
Cool.
Because I didn't know the Beach Boys were involved with with the Manson family.
I had no idea, but now that you say it, I'm like, well, I mean, it is that time period.
Yeah, right? And apparently the Beach Boys were kind of affiliated with the Maharishi, which is a guy who... he's a guru guy who came up with transcendental meditation.
Huh.
He was kind of a cult leader in and of himself.
Okay.
So, but Lynette, I'm just gonna say Lynette. Fuck it.
Yeah. I prefer Miss Fromme.
Miss Fromme. No, Lynette is actually she's characterized in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You may recognize her character. Sorry, my notes wouldn't scroll. I couldn't figure it out. But yeah, she was in that movie. Well, she was characterized in the movie. Okay. The dark-haired lady in that movie who's, spoiler alert, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has some of the Manson shit in there. The dark-haired lady, that's Sexy Sadie, whose name was Susan.
Oh, okay.
But not her. Yeah, so let's see here. Before we start talking about Lynette, we're going to talk about Dennis Wilson, the drummer of the Beach Boys.
Okay.
Because the Beach Boys were 3 brothers.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know?
No, why would I know that?
Yeah. My dad was a huge Beach Boys fan. So.
I totally see that.
Yeah.
He's always tan and surfing the USA.
Yeah.
So Dennis Wilson, before he drowned in 1983.
It's feel good, like good boy music.
Feel good boy music that was considered rock at that time, which is crazy to me.
Also, strange fact, my dad was also a huge fan of Black Sabbath. So,
well, fuck yeah. That's metal.
Yeah,
the dichotomy.
Dichotomy of those two.
Yeah. So, yeah, before he drowned, after drinking the whole day in 1983, he picked up some lady hitchhikers in 1968 while driving through Malibu.
Nice.
And I swear, that's how every Manson encounter happens. Even in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's Brad Pitt picking up a fucking hippie lady hitchhiker. So he picked him up, dropped him off where they were going, thought nothing of it. A couple days later, he's driving through town again, and he sees them again. So he picks him up, and he says, how about you guys come over to my house?
Uh-oh.
Oof.
Whoopsies.
Oof. I'm guessing he didn't pull a Brad Pitt and ID them like he did in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No. Doubtful.
Yeah, so he brought him to his house, and he kind of brought up their involvement with the Maharishi, that guru guy that the band had some affiliation with. And then they mentioned, we have a guru too. Like, look at that. Wow.
His name is Manson Rishi.
His name is Charles Manson. Or Charlie Rishi. No, but they were like, yeah, we have a guru too. He just got out of a 12-year prison sentence.
Oh, great. Good thing you're in my house now.
And he's like, oh, that's great. I got to go to the studio and record Good Vibrations. So you guys can stay here. So he leaves these 2 strangers in his house.
Keep things cool, fellas. I'll catch you in a few.
Catch you on the flip side.
God.
He drives back home that night. Manson is standing in his driveway.
Jesus.
They talk.
That's great.
They walk back to his house. Over a dozen women have now moved into his house.
Oh,
in the time that he was just at the recording studio with the Beach Boys.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, okay, this is kind of weird, but I'm also kind of interested.
He's like, you said a dozen women?
Mm-hmm. Over
Jesus.
a dozen.
Good
It eventually became 17.
I'm sure he's like, shit, but also like, hey, it's the 70s. I'm famous.
Yeah. So it's the summer of love.
Yeah, everybody's fucking around right now. Let's do it.
Well, he starts talking to Manson, and he's like, okay, this guy's all right. He knows what he's doing. Also, basically, they were allowed to use the women as slaves.
Oh, God.
Just like around the home.
Yeah.
Because that's what Manson did.
Well, it was the 70s. So
well, it was the 70s, yeah. Yeah, seriously. And they just kind of took over, and he was kind of cool with it because it's almost the swinging 70s. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure he's also just like, hey, cool, when I go on like tours and go to record, my place is watched.
yeah. And these guys are like sucking my dick and whatever.
Yeah. And I'm getting free drugs. Hell yeah.
He was a massive drug abuser.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah.
70s musician? No.
Yeah. So he, they did not treat those ladies very good, but
70s man? No.
Yeah, right? But over the next 6 months, this arrangement ended up costing him $100,000 of 1968 money, which is $880,000 as of 2023.
God dang. It's a lot of dough.
Yeah. So this was for their expenses, a little bit of clothes here and there, food, blow, cocaine, LSD,
Not a little bit
weed,
of those,
cigarettes, alcohol.
mushrooms.
Then they wrecked his Mercedes-Benz,
Oh.
and then they wrecked his Ferrari.
Oh.
And then he had
Why?
to basically buy weekly penicillin shots because everybody kept getting gonorrhea from each
Wow,
other.
who could have ever expected that outcome?
Yeah, so it was like,
What? I didn't think STDs were invented till the 90s.
yeah. AIDS was the first STD, right? Yeah, no. So they just basically kept penicillin injections on
Jesus
tap.
Christ. They were
Because
probably
they were
all
just-
using the same fucking needle.
Yeah, probably.
They're like, yeah, just keep loading
Just
it up.
refill it.
He's like, we'll save some cash. And then
Yeah.
after you finish your penicillin shot, just slip in a hit of heroin too. Fuck it.
Yeah, combine it.
Yeah. Mix them. Gets into your system fast.
Yeah. It also turns out that, Manson, especially in the earlier time, he was trying to get like a music career going. And
yeah.
he weirdly had like actually good connections within the music industry, but his music was just kind of not good.
Wow. Who could have
Like
ever
he had
thought?
everything going for him for a young musician, except that he was a fucking psycho and didn't know how to make good music.
Yeah, and he was a bad musician.
Yeah. So he actually wrote the song.
The one thing that really, really fucking mattered
Yeah.
in the 70s. Now, he would have been so successful.
Oh, definitely.
Auto-tune would have done him so many favors.
perfectly.
Look at Kanye.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow still making music. So Manson actually wrote the song Never Learn Not to Love by the Beach Boys, but he was never credited with it because according to Dennis, he relinquished his rights for about, and this is a quote, about $100K worth of stuff.
Oh, my God.
Like, yeah, no shit. And I just want to point out that this is the guy who's like, and the cult who's like, materials are just things, man.
He goes, yeah, all that fucking money you owe me, we'll clear it if you just give me the rights to the song.
Yeah, like it's just weird that Manson and all of his followers who are like, you don't need those things, man. It's the institution, man. Yet they were enriching themselves off this dude.
Yeah, for real.
And he was
We don't need those things, but if somebody else has them, even better, bro.
Yeah.
Then we'll exploit the fuck out of them.
Mm-hmm. And he was even in an interview, I think it was for the Rolling Stone, during this time period, where he even mentioned, like, yeah, I'm living with 17 women at my home. And the interviewer said something to the effect of, like, are you supporting them? Like,
that's
you're
a lot of
supporting them?
dishwashers, yes, sir.
And he said, no, if anything, they're supporting me.
God.
Because they've encouraged me to give like 50 to 60% away of my money and like material possessions. I'm just happy now, like with a single room with a bed and a single candle in it.
Jesus.
Meanwhile, still living in a Hollywood mansion with a lot of shit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what he's spouting off.
Because that's what all 17 women abide by is they go back to their rooms that have
Nothing in
like one very thin blanket and a candle. Meanwhile, he's just like he's a fucking cult leader. So he's like rules for thee, not for
that's
me.
what Dennis Wilson.
Oh, Dennis.
That's what Dennis said. Yeah,
Jesus Christ. But I mean, even
So he totally
same
fell for it.
thing.
But
I mean,
same thing,
Dennis
yeah.
is like
It's still his mansion.
Dennis has this like extreme power dynamic here because he's got 17 women living there. He has a cult leader that's now also fucking depending on him, which makes him like a pseudo cult leader.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so of course it's like it's exactly what I said. It's rules for me, not like rules for thee, not for me. And it's like, yeah, if I preach this like ooh, minimalist way of living.
Materialism is bad, guys.
It's gonna make it so that the people that live with me feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
That way, I'm not losing my fucking Mercedes and my Ferrari all over again.
Yeah. So after
such a manipulator way of fucking doing
100%. It's kind of crazy how easy the manipulation was for the people involved in this cult. Like, it seems like the cultural time period, like the Summer of Love stuff, the gurus and shit that was kind of happening, this like new wave of kind of that new age thinking, really primed people to go into cults.
I think a lot of it, I mean, we kind of touched on it on the Jonestown episode, is that, I mean, the Jonestown episodes, I think a lot of it is because so much of the world was stepping away from, like, I guess, so much of, like, trends and everything were finally starting to step away from, like, that old Christian, like, goody two-shoes way of doing things. And then you're having these, like, big celebrities that are coming out and they're like, yeah, like, I'm fucking Jimi Hendrix and I'm fucked up all the time and, like, we party and shit. And that was never really, like, the mainstream that everyone was getting injected into their veins. And it's like, hey, we got to be fucking cool now, not like your loser
it's the
collar-wearing
counterculture.
brother.
Yeah.
And so people shift to that, and then they get pushed out of their families because it's like, you get those goddamn Dio posters off the wall, kid. And so you have all these, like, what's the fucking word? It's not degenerates, God. It's I
mean, no,
like all these people that have been pushed out, and so of course, when they have someone that has any form of like
structure
and like any kind of just like I get it.
Yeah, this
like,
is the way the world is.
It's
Listen
like they cling to it because that's what their whole life was growing up, and then they lost it, and they were like, fuck, I need like a little bit of organization back in my life because things are a fucking mess. And they fall into these cults because it's so easy to manipulate the fucking masses when the masses are people that are easily fucking molded.
Yeah, who are looking for someone who, they get it. He gets it, Manson knows what's going on. He he knows how to talk.
And it like, I love this time period, but I also like, it's frustrating, but it's also just like, it's such a real time period. I feel like so many people grace over the fact that like these people fell into a cult, but it's because they were completely fucked over. Like, a lot of these people, they had nothing left at this point. They don't have a home,
guidance, no support structure.
They're addicted to the fucking like drugs and shit that they were taking when they were at their parents' place and they could afford to do it. And then somebody comes along and is like, hey, I got a whole fucking commune where we've got all these drugs and we all fuck each other and you'll have like warmth, food, and a roof over your head.
Yeah, so and like materialism is bad, man. Your dad wouldn't agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, damn, they're right, dude. Like, I should fucking hop on this trend.
Yeah.
And so if you want to subscribe to our Patreon, send it.
Send us all of your material goods.
It's just like, it's interesting, and I feel like the huge sentiment on a lot of this is just like, people just don't take into account that these were people too.
Yeah, we talk about this in the Patricia Hearst episode too.
Yeah, and it's like these people didn't like. Yeah, we can sit here like in retrospect and be like, "Oh, you fucking idiot, you big dumb asshole," but it's like they were just doing what they thought was fucking right,
too.
And they were being manipulated
into
doing the things that they did. Were some of the things they did fucking abhorrent and
stupid as shit? Yeah.
Like crimes against humanity? Yeah. But like it wasn't like, like I need a place to stay, and Charles Manson goes, rip that fucking lady's fetus out of her belly. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that at all.
It's over the course of like such a long period of time.
And
I feel
so
like
much manipulation.
That dehumanization of these people.
The separation.
It's like, they're fucking criminals. It's like, They were just regular people. They were just so heavily manipulated, dude.
Yeah, and you see it still to this day with, like, young boys who are trying to figure out how to be men, and we don't have any type of, like, coming-of-age rituals anymore, so they cling to Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson and the widening alt-right field of podcasts.
Yeah.
So by the my tactical wipes, you know, like...
God, for real.
But yeah, there's so much of that still going on, of people who just need a little guidance and aren't getting that from their family, or they feel like they're not understood by their family, so they're seeking some outside justification, and anybody can do that.
Yeah,
you know?
They just want any fucking place in society.
Yeah. So they're finding their place, and it's a place that's harming society, but, you know. But they're really just trying to find some camaraderie. They're trying to find people like them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
if there's someone that you're fucking worried about and they're falling into that shit, reach out to them.
Yeah, reach out to them. Give them some guidance. Give them some advice. Take them out to lunch. Like, you know, it really helps just stop that dehumanization process of the in-group versus the out-group.
For real.
So over the next 6 months...
And talk to them about pressure points.
And talk to them about pressure points.
You know, the values that we hold here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe in like 6 months or so, meet us at like a commune. We're setting something up.
Yeah. We got something in the pipeline. So yeah, over the next 6 months, things kind of get weird for Dennis. Obviously, he really enjoys the...
What year is this? If you're okay divulging that info.
I said at the beginning, I thought...
72?
So this was pretty early on, so this would have been 68?
Oh, okay.
68, 69.
Okay.
Because the trial, the Manson trial was in 1970.
Oh, okay.
So over the next 6 months, mostly towards the end, he starts getting afraid of Charlie, of Mr. Manson, for a couple things. One, he never testified this, but somebody else recorded after Dennis's death in the 80s that he had told him of this time that Manson shot some black dude and then hid him in a well. Never been charged for that case.
Jesus.
Never found the body, but because nobody knew where, like, it was just an anecdotal thing. Like, there's no details about it.
The police were like, oh, he's black, who cares?
Well, yeah, because it was the 80s, so...
They were like, well, we got a lot of dead white women on our hands. We don't have time for something like that.
Yeah.
God.
So he starts getting, like, he's starting to see a lot of the violence and a lot of the kind of just... Well, the shit that doesn't benefit him anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably starting to see more of, like, the outrage and outbursts and shit,
the manic shit.
Yeah.
So he moves out of his own house.
Oh, my God, bro.
And, of course, the cult just strips everything out of the house, but they keep living there. They get evicted, like, 3 weeks before the lease goes up because they're just destroying the property.
Just ripping copper piping from the fucking walls.
Yeah. Manson even tries to get an acquaintance between the two of them to deliver Dennis a message. He gives him a bullet and says, tell Dennis that I want him to keep this bullet and to look at it every time and think about how his children are still safe.
Jesus Christ.
This dude's psycho. This dude is so, like, threatening.
God damn.
And, yeah, at this point, he basically distanced himself. He was even too afraid to testify at the trial.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't do it. Totally.
Fuck.
So at this point, Dennis distances himself from the Mansons, and he's not really involved in it from here. But now we can talk about Lynette.
Cool.
Lynette Fromme?
Fromme.
Whatever it is. Who gives a shit? This bitch is crazy. All right, so October 22nd, 1948, she is born in Santa Monica to a middle to upper middle class family, which at that time period, oh my God. To be upper middle class in the 50s?
Fuck.
In the 60s? In the 70s? In the 80s?
Yeah.
In the early 90s? Now? I mean, it wouldn't go as far, but her dad was an aeronautical engineer.
Smart guy.
So, smart guy, especially, you know, when we're trying to figure out how to get to the moon and during the Cold War.
Good job
aeronautical engineers, pretty good job. And she gets into, as a kid, she's into this dance group called the Westchester Lariats.
Oh, so fancy.
And they tour the U.S. and Europe doing little dance shows. In fact, she performs on the White House lawn.
Good God.
In her group.
I don't know. Are you sure about upper middle class?
She
Are we
might
positive
be
about the middle there.
No, she might be getting a little, a little higher than that. So of course, coming from this upper middle to upper class family, in 1963, when she's 15 or 16, they move to Redondo Beach, California, and she gets into alcohol.
Hell
she starts
yeah.
smoking weed. She
Fucking
starts
hippie.
doing drugs. At 15. And even though she's starting to abuse these drugs pretty heavily, basically immediately, she graduates high school, she moves out for a couple months, realizes drugs and alcohol is really expensive when you don't have exactly what we were talking about, when you're not living at home.
Yeah.
So she moves back in because her dad's like, you can move back in with us
But you
if
gotta
you...
get clean, kid.
No, if you go to El Camino College.
Oh, okay.
He didn't know. He's an absent father from the
fair.
60s. Like, I don't even need to say absent. He's just a father from the 60s. Like,
Good point. Yeah.
yeah, so she goes to college. Classic. She gets into a big fight with dad. She drops out of college. He kicks her out. She does what anybody does in the situation where you're living at Redondo Beach, California, and are homeless. You go to Venice Beach.
Yeah.
You go to Venice Beach, and you bum around there.
Yeah.
Because free showers. There's a
Nice-
bus station.
Nice view.
Yeah. So by...
Bunch of other people bumming around.
Mm-hmm.
Drugs are moving.
Exactly.
Sex is free.
Sex is free. The cults are in full
Yeah.
bloom at this time period.
Somebody's bound to take you in.
Mm-hmm. So 1967, she's 19, dropped out of college, depressed, homeless, penniless. She's sitting at the bus stop. Bus arrives, and Manson steps out.
Manson's driving it.
Manson's
All
driving
aboard.
the bus. No, he's he's pretty fresh out of prison. So far, he's living with a lady named Mary, known as Mother Mary, who he has a kid with.
Oh, okay.
And he gets off the bus. He looks at this lady and says, "Your parents threw you out, didn't they?"
Wow. Who could have ever expected that?
So obviously, he's psychic.
Yeah.
Lynette is immediately
Yeah.
convinced that he is psychic. She's totally not young and impressionable.
No other conclusion you could make from that.
Yeah. And so she grabs her shit and just starts following him.
Yeah. Some fucking dirty 20-something in Venice Beach. Like,
Yeah.
looks like they haven't eaten in a few days. Looks mostly dehydrated, strung out a bit, crying at a fucking bus stop.
I
think
wonder.
it's pretty fucking obvious like
No.
what their life is.
Nope.
What's going on in their life.
Not obvious.
Could
He's
have
psychic.
never. Yeah, true. That's a good point.
And in this,
You got me.
in this moment, she becomes the second member of the Manson family after Mary.
Wow. That easy.
They start traveling. They travel in a van for a while and just start picking up hitchhikers, converting them to the cult. She starts... She just eats up all the pseudo-philosophy bullshit that he was spitting out because she had nothing else in her life.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it's fair. I mean, the dude's probably throwing shit out that sounds like partially intellectual,
Yeah.
but it's just crazy
Well,
talk.
he's like,
but
it's the... I was in prison, but it was wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. It's the Institute. It's
Yeah.
the man trying to keep you down.
yeah, you know how the cops fucking kick you out from place to place when you're trying to just catch a snooze on a bench. Same guy threw me in prison. I didn't do shit. I didn't eat that baby.
Yeah, exactly. And it just, she's definitely living at Dennis's house. She's at Spawn Ranch.
Yeah.
She was one of the many young women who was ordered to sleep with George Spawn, the nearly blind 80-year-old caretaker of Spawn Ranch.
Oh, shit.
In fact, that's where she got her nickname, because every time he would touch her, she would squeak. So she's Squeaky is her
She's
name,
Squeaky.
which
Oy,
really
oy,
grosses
oy.
me out,
God damn.
because this blind 80-year-old's going around
He's
touching
like,
19-year-olds
"Yeah, give me a
and
squeak."
probably less. It's like, ooh, I like the way you squeak.
Ew.
Ugh. What a fucking creep.
Great thing to hear.
Yeah. She also lived with them when they were in Death Valley. She was not involved in the Tate LaBianca murders.
Boo.
Yeah, boo. No, it was only like 5 of them, I think.
She was supposed to kill Roman Polanski. But
Yeah, but he was fleeing the 13-year-old rape allegations in Europe. Yeah, so basically she was in the group that during the trials, she was camping outside the courthouse. She was calling and intimidating other family members to not testify against Manson when they were already arrested.
Advocating for him like crazy.
Yeah,
Kinda like
going crazy, talking to the news.
Like the cult's mom kind of thing.
Kind of.
Not like Mother Mary,
Yeah.
but like the cult's big sister in a way.
Pretty much. There are some videos of her that I even saw today of her like, he saved us from our parents and made us into ourselves. And like shit that on the surface it's that superficial deepness. And I know there's a better term for it, but it's that
Pseudo-intellectualism.
that pseudo-intellectualism that happens so much in the New Age, the New Age revival, spiritual bullshit. You know, there's just a lot of people trying to manipulate people and taking something that could be awesome and cause a lot of introspection and change in society and just turning it into this
It's always
front.
utilized.
It's always utilized as a front for somebody enriching themselves.
Yeah.
It's like communism.
Yeah.
So, a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Execution kind of ruined by assholes.
Yeah, the worst. The only, what is it? The one thing that destroys communism is fucking like human error.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest thing that fucks it all up.
Exactly. So Manson, the whole trial is crazy. But Manson at one point like carves an X into his forehead. She's in the group of followers who also carved X's in their foreheads.
God.
His eventually became a tattoo and then a swastika. We'll talk about that. She starts to preach Manson's teaching throughout the trial to the media, to just
Down
news
steps.
Yeah, out on the steps, news reporters would come up and say, "Hey, what's going on?" She's like, "I'm one of the followers, and this is what's happening. There's going to be a race war, helter-skelter, all this
Jesus.
shit." And yeah, she actually got caught intimidating already imprisoned followers of the Manson family from testifying, because there's a big push that you could, oh, hey, you were arrested because you robbed a drug dealer. You're in the Manson family. If you give us dirt on Manson, we'll shorten your sentence.
Little like plea deals and plea bargains.
So
and shit.
she was intimidating a whole bunch of people.
Oh my God.
And then she gets charged with contempt of court because she refused to testify. And then she gets charged in the intimidation of potential witnesses. Very short jail times.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're like a couple weeks.
Jesus, good God.
Yeah. So she's got nothing left in her life. Manson goes to prison. He gets charged.
It's true.
So
he was the thing that quote unquote saved her. So
yeah. So you know what she does?
What?
She just kind of bums around the city until they transfer Manson to Folsom Prison. So her and another follower get a shitty apartment in Sacramento to be close to him.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he went to Folsom Prison.
Yeah, he spent time in Folsom.
Interesting.
And he
when
also
did Johnny Cash perform there? What year was that? I mean, I know it's
don't
not.
know.
I know it's
that
not
would be
the 70s.
crazy if it was the 70s,
Johnny
though.
Cash, Folsom
Yeah.
Prison, year.
Let's see.
Ear. No,
Ear, yeah.
Year.
What ear did he have?
Left. 68.
Oh, that was like right before.
Arrives to play 4 inmates at California's Folsom Prison January 13th, 1968.
Dang. If he had waited 2 more years,
70. Damn, dude.
If he had waited 2-3 more years, he would have been performing.
That's crazy.
For
That's
Manson.
fucking wild. What year did he die?
Johnny Cash?
Yeah, you're good. You can keep
No,
going,
now I'm
sorry.
curious. Keep Googling. Jamie, pull up when Johnny Cash died.
What? He's dead. What the fuck?
Wait, Johnny Cash is dead?
Oh, 2003.
Yeah, I was like, it was pretty late.
I was like, when was that? I always get him mixed up with fucking Elvis dying.
Yeah.
Young as shit.
All right, so, yeah, her and Sandra Good rented an apartment in Sacramento because they wanted to be near him. Also, at this point, in prison, Charlie Manson was getting in real good with the Aryan Brotherhood.
Oh,
that's why the X became a tattoo of a swastika.
Gotta choose a gang.
And he was basically made the bitch of a super high-ranking member of the Aryan Brotherhood in prison.
I can see that.
And he starts kind of making deals with the Aryan Brotherhood because while they're in prison,
he's got his hand.
They both have people on the outside who are able to do stuff.
Yeah. He's a master manipulator, and he has a huge fucking gang of people that are gonna do shit for him.
Yeah, who are following him around when he's in prison.
He's got a lot of sway.
Still.
Yeah. And he's still getting his fucking letters and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so they start persisting in poverty for some time, just, begging on the street, doing what they were doing the whole time, which is just bumming off people to survive, not really doing jobs or anything. And she writes a 600-page book about the Manson family that included photos, drawings, and other members had big sections of their stories within it. And it's all pro-Manson.
Lord knows they had the time.
Yeah. And she wanted to publish it. It got denied. And then she was convinced to stop trying to publish it because it was extremely incriminating because they were just admitting everything that they did during the cult. But they were framing it as, well, it's because the race war is coming.
Oh, God.
So it's justifiable.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, they didn't publish it until 2018.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So he did publish it. It's called Reflection. Reflexion. I didn't know about that. I'm going to find it on the internet and read it.
Yeah.
I'll give an update. If you care enough, I'll give an update about it. But
prove it to us.
Awesome.
Prove how much you fucking care. Rip that fetus out of the next pregnant lady's seat.
Okay, I will.
No, not you.
Oh. So they
that would implicate us.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah, it's our our listeners that need to do it. Our followers on Instagram. Our Instagram followers.
No, but I just thought that was interesting that book did end up being published. It is probably edited down a bit.
Yeah.
But in 1972, so some time happens where they write this book, and they're still just visiting Manson in prison.
I also wondered, does that fall outside of like statute of limitations? I wonder if
probably. Well, most of the people involved were dead.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, not at that point, but in 2018.
Yeah. I'm saying when it was published. I wonder.
I think so.
It kind of falls outside of that, and then most of them are probably dead.
And as far as I know, nothing new really came out of it.
I see.
Just more insight into the mental state of the people involved, which just they really wanted to put it out as we're not brainwashed. Nobody forced us to do anything. This is our choice. But it just really further cements that they were 100% brainwashed.
Yeah.
And manipulated.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, 1972, Squeaky travels to Stockton with two other of the Manson family members, and it just so happens 2 members of the Aryan Brotherhood. Because Manson's been working with them.
Yep.
They're like, you got to go do this work for us.
Yeah. You got to have somebody verify it.
Yeah, and of course he's getting in with the Aryan Brotherhood. Like, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Asshole. Racist.
It's the exact same as his fucking dynamic with the fucking Drew. Is that what his name was? The Beach Boy.
Dennis.
Yeah. Same fucking thing. He sees a group that has power, money, and fucking like the means to
do it, and suddenly
do his fucking bidding.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Hey, I have the people that can help you out. Help me help you."
Yep. So this group of 5 people move in with James Willett and his wife Lauren Willett and their 8-month-old daughter.
How the fuck it surprises
James
me
Willett
how
is
people
probably a member of the Aryan Brotherhood.
It just still surprises me that people are like, "Yeah, move in."
Move in with my 8-month-old daughter. Well, you see, James had recently gotten out of prison a couple years before. He was
I
still
see.
working with the Aryan Brotherhood.
Probably felt like he owed them some shit.
Well, no, you see, he was there was some rumors that James was going to come clean to the cops about the Brotherhood's recent string of robberies that they had
so
been
why
hitting
not house
involving
some
him.
people? God damn.
So it was basically, no, you can, no, I'm still with you guys. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. They're
Come
like,
live with
okay,
me.
well, we're just going to live with you.
Yeah, and they do that, and then they made him dig his own grave, and then they murdered him
Fuck. How quickly after they moved in?
pretty quickly, like within the month, I think.
Damn.
And then the cops found the grave because his arm was sticking out of it, which is really funny. So they start doing, an investigation. They figure out who it is. They figure out, oh, he died within the last month or so. This is where we know he's involved with the Aryan Brotherhood. This is where he lived. So they raid the house, where they find everybody except Squeaky in the house.
God damn it.
And they find Lauren Willett.
Imagine fucking murdering someone and then being like, yeah, let's just go back to his house. We'll just still stay there.
Yeah, that's really what they did.
Like, imagine being that fucking
Like
dumb.
a month later.
That dumb.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, we'll still stay here. At least
Yeah.
he's out of the place.
Well, they
Fucking
couldn't
hell.
find the body. We buried it.
Yeah, we buried it.
We
in
buried
the
it
dark.
arm deep.
We buried it pitch black. It's
Yeah.
great.
Well, we closed our eyes because it was just more fun.
Yeah.
Well, the cops find Lauren in the basement, dead. The 8-month-old is alive.
Swastika tattoo on his
Swastika
forehead.
tattoo on his forehead. No. And they get a phone call when all these people are arrested. Somebody calls the house. It's Squeaky. She says, "Hey, can you guys come pick me up? This is where I'm at."
Oh,
And the cop
fucking
says,
idiot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
we'll come pick you up.
we'll be there. This is what was that guy's name? Todd. This is Tom.
Yeah. So they go pick her up, and she immediately has an alibi. And she says, "No, I've been traveling to different prisons in California, visiting," she said, "her brothers and Manson."
She's like, I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan. I've been following his prison
Yeah, I've been
tour."
following the prison tour, recreating it. No, so she kind of had an alibi.
Yeah.
So while she definitely knew about the murders and was probably involved in it, she just easily said, "Well, no, I was gone that almost a month ago. I've been gone since then." And all the people in the
Yeah,
house would just back her up.
I didn't know what they had planned.
So everybody in the house gets convicted
Except for her.
except for her. So she squeaks on by.
Yep.
She's probably been involved in multiple
Squeaky
murders at this point.
clean, man.
And at this point, she and another member kind of group up. They move back to Sacramento to be close to Manson. They start wearing robes and going by the names that Manson made for them. So what do you think?
Christ.
What do you think Manson would have, with all of his esoteric knowledge in their point of view, all of his deep philosophy, how do you think he would have nicknamed these two women?
What were their names again?
There's Lynette, and I don't know the other name.
So Lynette was probably like, what's another word for it? Like fucking squeal is what he ended up going with, or like squirrel or some
Squealy.
bullshit. Yeah. The other one,
See, the name, it's not.
it's
I'm telling
I
you.
gotta like dumb this shit down
Mhm.
so bad because I know it's not gonna be clever at all. God, it's probably like fucking like Jelly Belly or something stupid shit. Something he was eating
I like
at the
that
time.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lynette, Squeaky here, has red hair. So
He
he
called her
called
red?
her red. For a non-materialistic, like anti-materialism guy, he chooses, "Oh, you have red hair. I can remember your name. I can't remember Lynette because there are 18 other women here
Yeah.
or whatever.
Red.
So you're red." The other lady had blue eyes.
Blue.
She was called Blue.
Good God, bro.
So they start wearing robes and
Red
going
and
by
blue
red
robes.
and blue.
Good
And they
God.
start preaching, traveling around California just to visit Manson when he gets shuffled around prisons every once in a while, and just to, visit other family members who are in prison.
Jesus.
And time, it's hard to kind of keep track of somebody when they're basically homeless, begging for everything and doing nothing.
Yeah.
So we fast forward to 1975. She knocks on the door in a hotel, and the person behind the door's name is Danny Goldberg.
Okay.
See, Danny is the VP of Swan Song Records,
Oh, boy.
the recording label for Led Zeppelin.
What the fuck?
She's frantic at the door. She's having a mental breakdown, screaming, crying, I have to talk to Jimmy Page. I need to see Jimmy Page right now. I need to talk to Jimmy Page. Something's going to happen.
Oh, God.
There's imminent evil approaching, and it will strike during the concert tonight, during the Led Zeppelin concert tonight. And I need to talk to Jimmy Page. This is the only way we can stop it. So she's obviously on drugs and strung out and just not having a good time. Who knew all of that would catch up into some mental health issues?
For real.
So Danny is like, you can't... No. Well, first off, he recognizes this lady's insane, calls security.
Yeah.
So to, calm her down, he's like, you can't speak to him until tomorrow night after the concert. She's like, it's going to be too late. That's going to be too late. He's going to be dead by then. And he's like, well, you could write down the warning on a note, and I'll give it to him. And she's like, okay. Writes down this whole long note, and then refuses to leave still. So security escorts her out.
He's just like, this
and Danny
isn't my fucking
looks at the
first
note,
rodeo.
says, this is insane, and burns it. Jimmy Page doesn't ever hear about this until much later.
Yeah, because he fucking died.
Yeah. No, but Danny Goldberg did see Squeaky on the news a month later.
Oh, shit.
And this is kind of the penultimate ending of this episode and of Squeaky's
Red.
Of Squeaky/Red's trials and
Squeaky
tribulations.
Red's reign of terror.
Yeah. So let's see here. September 5th, 1975. Still probably very much manic and on drugs. Mm-hmm. Squeaky decided that she needed to go and speak to President Gerald Ford.
Okay.
Because the redwoods were dying. And the redwood trees are very much threatened by climate change, encroaching humans, habitat changes.
It wasn't as
It's an issue.
widely known in the 70s.
Yeah. So she says, I need to go speak to Gerald Ford, President Gerald Ford, who happens to be having a speech in California on September 5th.
Uh-huh.
So she's in a robe, of course. Of course he'll take her seriously. She's wearing a robe.
Yeah. She goes, I'm red. And he's like, oh, great.
Oh, fuck. And, yeah, I think he was doing a speech at this park. And she walks up, and she just is allowed to get, really close to him. Because she just goes really quick, and this is... Yeah. So she pulls out a Colt M1911 pistol.
Jesus.
Puts it in his face. Pulls the trigger, and it clicks.
Oh.
He goes, click. She gets tackled.
Yeah.
And she's heard yelling, it wouldn't go off. It didn't go off. Can you believe it? It didn't go off.
Yeah.
She didn't cock it.
Jesus.
Well, it was cocked, but there wasn't a bullet in the chamber.
Woo.
It almost got plastered in the face at point-blank range. And probably just because she was on drugs, she racked it twice. And the second time she racked it, didn't have the magazine in it, so the bullet just flew out. Because they found the bullet in her bathroom.
Jesus, dude.
So she was strung out.
Yeah.
And apparently that's how she wanted to communicate with him. And during the trial, because this very quickly went to trial.
Communicate with him by killing him.
Well, she said, I didn't want to kill him. Despite saying, it wouldn't go off. It didn't go off. Why didn't it go off? I didn't want to kill him. I just wanted him to listen. I was going to point the gun at him and say, save the redwood trees.
Yeah, because...
Or something.
As far back as I can remember, anytime I've had like probably my best like most active listening is when I've had like a bullet in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah. That seems legit. I don't blame
100%.
her.
I don't blame her. Yeah.
What's he going to do? Is he going to talk over? No.
Yeah. What's he going to do? Not listen?
Even if she fucking shot his arm, like, what a stupid fucking thing to say. I am not, if somebody shoots me, I am not listening to what they're saying because I'm in a fucking bunch of pain.
Yeah.
Like,
and because the person who's trying to convince you of something just shot you.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
and
you're right.
Like,
you're actually right about that.
They're like, Charles Manson wasn't wrong in what he did. And you're like, oh, God damn it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Jesus. So fucking stupid.
It just shows how far she's deteriorated.
Yeah.
And she refused to cooperate with the defense in her trial. She just said, I wasn't trying to shoot him, despite bringing a loaded gun and pulling the trigger. So she gets life in prison. California had recently banned the death penalty. And an attorney, during like the closing statements, basically, an attorney in the prosecution says, we would recommend severe punishment because she is so, this is a quote, full of hate and violence.
Okay.
Fair. And then, in response, from across the courtroom, she chucks an apple at his face, and it knocks off his glasses. And it kind of proves his point that she's kind of full of hate and violence.
She's like, I'm not hateful or violent. And he's like, okay.
Okay.
She's like, I just want you to listen to me. Pulls out another gun.
Fuck. How'd she get that in here? Yeah, so that's just great. She gives some fucking bullshit statement about how she's here fighting for clean air, clean water, respect for nature, respect for creation, or some bullshit like that. And she goes to prison.
Humans are destroying everything, so I must in turn destroy humans.
Yeah. So in 1979, a couple years after she's in prison, she gets transferred to a West Virginia prison. That's quite a ways away.
Yeah.
It's because she attacked somebody with a hammer.
Oh, what the fuck?
In prison. She fucking,
Christ.
claw hammered some bitch.
Oh my God, dude.
She's very violent. If you wouldn't believe it.
No shit.
I think she has some very deep-seated mental health issues.
Yeah.
Possibly related to decades of drugs and alcohol use and while being in a cult.
Yeah, manipulation and fucking mental games that she's been going through for the longest fucking time.
So, nothing really happened until 1987, where she actually escaped from a prison camp for a couple of days. She was trying to go and visit Manson again because he was technically in the state for like some medical treatment or something. Just temporarily in the state. And she was like, somehow she figured it out. Escaped from prison, got scooped up a couple days later. Didn't ever get to meet him or see him again. Let's see. And 2009 comes around and she's released on parole.
Good behavior.
61 years old. It was actually supposed to be like 2006, but she got an extra 3 years for escaping.
God. They're like, yeah, well, you're good now.
So, 61, she moves to New York with her ex-con boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And as recently as 2019, at the age of 71, she was interviewed. And we've got a part of that interview right here. Do you have it?
Yeah, let me switch over.
I feel very honored to have met him. And I know how that sounds to people who think he's the epitome of evil.
Isn't that fucking insane?
Who think he's the epitome of
somehow
evil.
He's not the epitome of evil, despite ordering dozens of murders, potentially up to 24 potential murders.
God damn.
And so horribly manipulating these women that some of them still to this day view him as this god figure.
Good Lord, that's crazy.
And it's crazy. The interview there, I think it's called like Women of Manson or Sisters of Manson, something like that. Go watch it, because the other Manson follower that they interview is like, no, I was abused. I was mentally abused.
Shit.
I went to therapy for years to like
Good.
fix this. And then they cut it through with Squeaky
her
here
saying that shit.
yeah, with Red over here saying, no, no, this was great. He wasn't evil. I love him still. Yeah, she literally goes on in front of her boyfriend and says, no, I don't think you can fall out of love with someone. I still love him to this day.
And he's like, yeah, she does.
Yeah. It's fine.
Still calls me Charlie in bed.
Yeah, we just Sharpie a swastika on my forehead, and
yeah, she goes fucking wild for it.
And I pretend like I'm a blind 80-year-old on a ranch.
God damn, dude.
Like, I don't know. It's just astounding to me that someone can be so sick.
Yeah.
And so delusional.
And then on the other side of things, someone who was in basically her same position is able to, like,
turn it around and have a relatively normal life.
Realistically, it's a good indication of, like, the time served in prison and what the approach was for each person. The other lady probably didn't.
I don't think she went to prison.
She didn't?
I don't think so.
I was going to say, like, there's a good chance that even if she had, like, if she didn't show these violent tendencies, she probably would have gotten more rehabilitation rather than just like transfer.
Well, it's kind of like that moment of, I've been through this trauma, and how are you as a human going to react? Nobody knows, but some people react with, oh fuck,
yeah,
we need to fix this, or no, I'm right, I'm going to continue the fight.
Yeah. And
there's almost that dichotomy.
Being in the busted U.S. prison system.
Yeah, that definitely does not help.
Yeah, that doesn't preach fucking rehabilitation or learning your fucking problems, especially through the fucking 80s.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
God damn, that's crazy. That's a really interesting, like, duality on there.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the Beach Boy funding Manson and
it's crazy.
Lynette.
I didn't know that. That's cool. Well, like we said at the start of the episode, if you want an ad-free version of the show, check us out on Patreon. We do an exclusive episode every month. It comes out on the first of the following month or the second, depending on how on top of it we are. But yeah, crazy shit.
Yeah. So, Minnie D, Thomas, and Toddle Waddle, the board here, they want us to let you know that the compound has begun construction. We've broken ground.
Yeah, we've found a plot.
Yeah.
In South America.
It used to be called Fordville.
Yeah. We're renaming it to D's Town.
To D Town. AJville is the working title, but I think D Town gets it. Because who doesn't want to go to D Town?
Yeah, I'm taking it to D Town, baby.
Ugh. And then, of course, we've got Abby, AJ's Third Nut, Nordic Thunder, Weston, Dark Runner, D's Nuts, G-Dog, Grover, Hayden, Laura Revo, and Lindo. Thank you all so much for supporting us. Getting that ad-free version, letting us talk about one of the Beach Boys. Yeah. The next 2 episodes will be on the other 2 brothers.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
No, don't. It's kind of boring.
But yeah, we really, really do appreciate you guys' support. And yeah, keep your eyes out for stuff that comes out on Patreon. As always, if you guys ever have recommendations for tattoo artists, movies, books, TV shows, music, whatever, you can find a meme that you're like, hey, this applies to the show.
Or not.
Yeah.
I just like memes.
Yeah, just send them along. And if you find any articles that applied to something we talked about, if you want any further discussion on it, reach out to us. Check out our subreddit, r/pressure points. We'd really appreciate it if you guys go subscribe there. And as always, reach out to us on, on fucking Instagram, @pointsopressure. Feel free to email us at ppdnaj@gmail.com or go to our website, pointsopressure.com, and send us a fucking whatever. See you guys next Monday.